Hey Internet! Welcome to our channel. I'm here with Kusanagi to talk about the recent patch notes for Goddess of Victory Nikke.
The patch notes are out for January 23rd's update in Goddess of Victory Nikke. We have been given some information related to the next event prior to the EVA collab.
We have 2 new characters that will be available after the update on January 23rd. The first being Mast, Romantic Maid with the banner going live January 30th. She is not a limited unit, so you can pick her up on future banners.
She will be a supporter class Elysian water machine gun unit, so if you are paying attention, you will notice that she is probably going to be the DPS of the two, but she is still a supporter. She is not an attacker type, so we'll see how Shift Up balances her, considering her skill says that she's going to enhance damage distribution abilities. I don't know if this means that she's going to pair very well with Dorothy, or she's going to pair very well with Helm, considering Helm just got a buff with her favorite item.
The second character available from February 6th will be Anchor, Innocent Maid. She is also not a limited unit, so you can wishlist her in a future update if you are short on gems or tickets.
So, Innocent Maid Anchor will be another supporter class rocket launcher water Elysian unit. So that will be 2 supporter class Elysian units, which means you're going to need 2 sets of gear if you're planning to OL them. The other thing here is we don't think that Anchor is going to be a DPS. It looks like she's going to be a HP recovery unit and some kind of attack increase buffer. We'll see what the final kit looks like probably in the next coming days as the patch will roll out this Thursday for Americas, and we'll most likely have them in game. So Shift Up will have to post those very quickly in order for us to start reviewing and get an idea of whether Anchor is going to be a replacement for, let's say, Rapunzel or another unit, another healer type unit in your Squad 5 or maybe even Squad 4 for solo raid teams. So we'll have more information to come. Let's talk a little bit about some other information that came out in the patch.
There will be 2 new maid costumes available as part of the mission and event pass for Sin and Trony. The Drake maid outfit will be rerunning in the cash shop for a limited time.
So we will get 2 new maid costumes. I believe that the Sin one is the event pass because the Trony one is written here to say mission pass. So we're likely to get new voice lines for the Sin costume. The Trony costume will unfortunately not have new voice lines available to you. And then Drake will be available in the cash shop. So if you missed Drake in the last event, you are able to now get a copy of the skin. Now, you will not be able to get the racist Drake skin. They have not rerun this costume. I'm actually surprised that they're not rerunning this, considering they just gave her a favorite item, and she's very meta for shotgun teams. She was not very good before that, kind of coping with her on a shotgun team, to be honest. She still was good for PvP, but shotgun team, just nothing was really built around her, and now the way that her buffs work, she synergizes very well with the shotgun team. So let's talk a little bit about the Romantic Valentine event.
The Romantic Valentine event will run from January 30th until February 19th.
So this event will run for about 20 days, looks like 2 weeks. Things to keep in mind, that means that EVA is going to occur on February 20th. It's unknown what the patch maintenance window is going to look like for that. I'm going to assume it's going to be pretty big, considering what they showed in the New Year event, the last live stream, where they showed that EVA was going to get a very large map where you're going to be moving around on a boat. I'm assuming that's in Antarctica. I don't remember exactly where that part of the map that they're floating around in is in the Evangelion movie. But nonetheless, we're getting a pretty sizable um, quote unquote sort of like event surface to explore and find items in. So we'll expect that'll be on the 20th. One last thing to take into consideration is...
Solo Raid is expected to run from February 6th to February 13th. Based on the 2 new units, we can expect that the boss will be Water Week. So now is the time to start preparing your teams.
So, boss will likely be a Water Week boss. I'm not going to leak anything on this channel, but it is pretty standard, at least for Nikke, that whenever we have 2...
Welcome to the Abyss, you nasty little gooner.
Oh my god, who just followed me on fucking stream? Are you shitting me? My stream is not live. So... Okay, that's weird. Anyway... Someone just followed me offline. Anyway, back to this. So generally, when Nikke posts two different units, we generally end up with a solo raid that is keyed toward those units. So in this case, we have 2 water units. It's most likely going to be a fire boss. It's going to be Water Week. When it comes to the Water Week units, or the water units that exist in the game, there are very few. So I would suggest, one, taking a look at the units that you have. This should probably help you decide whether or not you're going to be pulling for Mast and or Anchor. Because really the only 3 that are pretty solid, I would say, are these 3 right here. We got our Quincy, our Ludmilla, and our Doro. Guillotine has yet to be proven in solo raid. We'll see how she does. She's done relatively well for me in Elysian Tower and some other stuff, like the Anomaly SI, but there's really not a lot of picks here. We basically got 2 ARs, a double SMG, and an LMG. Amelia, I think, might work for this SR. I'll probably use her because mine's invested, but she's generally more geared towards PvP. And we have Helm with her new favorite item, which is very expensive to level up. I'm still only at a phase 10 on this. So if you are looking for another water DPS, I would suggest going for Helm, considering that her skills also focus on final attack. I believe this is probably something that will get boosted, excuse me, by Anchor, potentially, and maybe by Mast. We'll see if she's going to pair well with her the new made versions of Mast and Anchor. Hopefully that means you could run her with her full Aegis squad and do some nice damage. Also, that third attack got buffed from 1,000 to 8,000 if you manage to get to phase 3. And let's talk about timeline here. Basically, an Innocent Maid will be dropping on February 6th. The solo raid will also be starting on February 6th. So you have limited time to build Mast and Helm if you have the resources available to you. And you're going to have a very limited time to build Anchor, considering that it will start on the same day as solo raid. Now, Challenge Day takes about 3 days to get completely open, so you have time to OL Anchor. We're also getting a overclock reset, so you get a little bit extra skill materials here, and we're getting full burst days for extra rocks. Hopefully, I generally get shafted on these, but at least you'll be getting the gear fodder that you're gonna need to level up those that gear to level 5 to be able to OL it. Now, there's some other stuff that I think they're throwing in here, like free materials and other stuff as part of this Romantic Valentine event, so you'll be able to clear the shop, hopefully, I don't know, 75% of the way, because it's going to end on February 19th, and the solo raid will go until the 13th, I believe. Let me just double check here. Yes, until the 13th. So you might be able to get additional materials out of the event in order to enhance your units for, one last strong attempt at solo raid, but just be aware that, again, we are in a I would call a material drought in Nikke. There are so many new units coming out. We have Eva Collab coming out with at least 2 units. I assume Mari will be a rerun, so you'll really only have to build 2 units, which will be Asuka and Rei, but we will see kind of how these things shake out. And talking about this February date, I will be doing a subathon on Twitch, so definitely drop by and check that out. There are a list of things that I'll link below on X that I posted for the goals of the subathon, so things that will get unlocked as we hit each milestone. For example, you guys can force me to play Love in Deep Space for an hour, or a Souls-like game, and not be allowed to use a mage, which is usually my go-to. I'll have to melee it out and beat the first boss. So there's some cool stuff in there. The other thing is, if you gift at least 5 subs, the Kamiket, the C105 merchandise that was available is up for grabs. Now, you have to be 18 in order to enter into the giveaway. Obviously, the materials that are from Kamiket are more adult themed, so in that sense, you have to be an adult in order to receive them. There's a bunch of options in terms of just simple Nikke merchandise, like acrylic stand stuff and limited winter edition, as well as a jacket that I managed to pick up at Ami Ami. But that one is going to be for the top gifters. We'll duke it out for who's going to get that jacket. And then lastly, there's some winter postcards and stickers and a bunch of other stuff that I grabbed while I was over there. I brought an entire suitcase back full of goods from Japan in preparation for doing what is essentially my first subathon. I've never done this before, but I thought it would be a good way to, 1, grow the community, and 2, improve my channel, so that way I could add more animated emotes for you guys to use. So that is the plan. I appreciate you guys that drop by stream, watch the videos. I'd appreciate it if you subscribed, so I can hit my monetization. I'm about halfway there. That is my goal for this year. For 2025 is to become a monetizing creator and then lose my monetization because YouTube, doesn't like anime themed things that are slightly lewd. So we'll see. We'll see if that goal comes true. But I would appreciate it anyway. And let me know in the comments whether you're excited for the Eva collab, or if you're excited for the main event, and if you plan to MLB Anchor or MLBing Mast. I think the Mast altar is amazing. It's probably like peak design that they've done in a while. I didn't think that the Rappy SSR design was fan servicey enough. I feel like they kind of nerfed some aspects of it compared to what we saw in the Chapter 32 sequences of what Red Hood Rappy looked like. So I was expecting a lot more. And also her Bond story is still extremely frustrating. So I would say I'm hoping with this fan service update we got from Mast that we are going to see some return to more interesting relationship development between the commander and the Nikkes. That's it for me. Thank you guys, and I will catch you later this week. Bye-bye.